My name is Jesse Sloan. I'm Executive Director of the American Association for Long-Term Care Insurance. And I'd like to have a very brief but frank conversation with you as a consumer about looking into long-term care insurance. I've been doing this as the organization's head since the late 1980s. I've read every article. I've been quoted in so many of them. Many reporters and many insurance professionals get the information wrong. And I believe that's a disservice to consumers. So I'm going to stand on my soapbox now and speak for a couple of minutes about some information that I hope you find beneficial. What do they get wrong? First, many people take what I call a one and done or all or nothing approach to long-term care insurance planning. And what I mean by that is they recommend a policy that you pick at a specific age as if that's going to serve you for the rest of your life. You would never make an investment option where you looked and said, I'm going to pick this investment option today and it's going to serve me for the rest of my life for the next 20 years because things change. So one and done is the wrong approach. And more yet, many articles talk about it and many insurance agents recommend it. The second thing is an all or nothing approach. So many articles today talk about long-term care insurance and how much it costs and how much the care is going to cost, forgetting entirely that you as a consumer have assets, have retirement savings, will have Social Security, maybe a pension, maybe your house will be paid off. You'll have other assets and other monies that you can utilize to pay in the inevitable case that you might need long-term care. What they do is they talk about the cost of care, how astronomical it is, and you need this much insurance to pay for that. Well, that's great, but that's not really what most of us do. Most of us will find a way to use our savings, use our assets. You want some insurance to pay for some of the cost, just like you have some insurance to pay for some of your house if it is totally destroyed in a fire. It's never going to replace everything, and you understand that. You could buy insurance that would do that, but it would be astronomically expensive. So one and done and all or nothing are wrong. The other part that's wrong is average costs. So many articles today speak to very, very passionate financial planners who've been in the business for many years. They work with very affluent clients. So they go and they tell the reporter, well, this is what the average cost for long-term care insurance for a 60-year-old should be. You read the numbers, and first of all, they fail to tell you whether that's for a couple or whether that's for an individual. You read those numbers and you go into sticker shock, and you say, this isn't for me. Well, the chances are not all of us have financial planners. Not all of us have million-dollar or multi-million-dollar estates. We're looking for affordable coverage that fits within our needs and our budget. And long-term care insurance can do that far more affordably than most people think and that most agents talk about. So what do I recommend? I recommend what I call a good, better, best approach to long-term care insurance. Think about it in this way. When you buy an airline ticket from New York to Los Angeles or New York to Hong Kong, the airline gives you a choice. You can fly coach, you can fly business class, you can fly first class. The choice is yours. And all of those seats are taken. So there are different kinds of people who choose different seats. Long-term care insurance is exactly the same. You can buy very good coverage, coach coverage, what I call good coverage. It's going to get you there. And for most people, it's going to be more than adequate to cover your needs. It's going to be far more affordable. It's probably going to be about half of the best coverage, which is a first-class ticket. If you can afford a first-class ticket, enjoy your flight, enjoy the meal. Nobody's ever going to tell you don't do it, but don't be misled into thinking that that's the only option. Not all the seats on this airline are first class. The last point that the articles typically never mention is that there are so many different moving parts and different variations in this product. They never talk about that. They act as if it's all basically the same. Once they tell you the average, they're all like that. It's clearly not the case. There's a vast difference. Company A is never going to be the cheapest company. Company B is never going to be the most expensive. but the same coverage for virtually the same amount of benefits could cost twice as much with Company B. That's just the way they've priced the product. It's like buying a Lamborghini. It's a car. It could take you to the supermarket, but it's going to cost a lot more than a Camry. And you understand that. But with long-term care insurance, you need to understand that those differences exist as well. So, and the problem is, you really don't, as a consumer, I hate to say it, you can't do the comparison shopping yourself. The reason being is you're never going to get the policy contract language, and that's what governs it, until after you apply, after you're health qualified, after you pay your premium. Then the insurance company will send you this 50-page document. You're never going to read it, and even if you did, that's only from one company. I urge consumers today to do the following. Get the knowledge and shop around. Better yet, work with a knowledgeable long-term care insurance specialist. The analogy that I use is I'm 62, turning 63. I go to my doctor every year. He performs for my physical. He does an EKG. I want that because I don't want to die of a heart attack. He reads the little paper and he looks at it and everything. He looks and goes, everything's good. Great. The day my doctor says, ooh, is the day I ask him for a referral to a specialist. Why? Because you only get one chance at your heart. The same thing is true about long-term care insurance. I believe this is a specialized field with a lot of nuances. And I do urge consumers, not everybody likes it, to work with a specialist. How do I define a specialist? Specialist is a long-term care insurance agent who's been in the business at least 3, at least 4, typically 5 years. Why? That gives them the breadth and the scope and the knowledge and the experience that it really takes to learn the nuances. Not all the companies accept the same health conditions. They need to have that experience and not have you be their guinea pig. Number 2, they really need to specialize and sell multiple policies again and again and again. It benefits you. Their knowledge benefits you. Their relationship with the insurance company will benefit you. You could go to our website and read so much more about the nuances and how important they are. A specialist is typically an insurance agent that spends 75, 80% of their time focused on helping people learn and buy long-term care insurance. And the last key point is a piece of industry jargon that the media never talk about. The word is appointed. Every insurance agent can access software where they can pull up a quote for Company A, Company B, Company C. And they can tell you, oh, you know what, Company A, I think it's the best. Company B, not so good. Company C, oh, I wouldn't even consider them. But here's what they don't tell you. If they are only appointed with Company A, guess what? They can only earn a commission by selling you the premium, the insurance policy from Company A. They're never going to sell you Company B or C. You know this when you buy a car. If you go into the Ford dealership, the guy's going to tell you why Ford is the best. He's never going to look and say, oh, and by the way, you know, for what you want, yeah, that Toyota Prius is really a much better model than ours. Come on, let's come into the office and let's talk about it. He's going to be sitting there selling you a Ford, and you understand that. With insurance, that word appointed makes that person, gives that person the ability to just sell you the one policy or to be appointed with multiple companies. Then they have your best interest in mind. That's really important. Get the facts. Don't make a knee-jerk decision. Don't buy a one-and-done approach or let the agent tell you what works. Ask the right questions. Take the time to learn more. If you want a comparison shop, visit the American Association for Long-Term Care Insurance's website. Call our offices. You're under no cost or obligation. We'll answer your questions. If you're interested, we'll connect you with a designated long-term care insurance specialist. They also will educate you. They will compare, again, no cost and no obligation. I believe it's in your best interest. This is an important topic. You are probably the first one in your generation, in your family, to buy this product. It's complex. Don't go at it with an uneducated approach. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it's been helpful to you.